I bet you didn't know how the concept of divine love has evolved through history. Welcome to Tech and Trek. Did you know that ancient Mesopotamian deities were often seen as capricious and demanding? This contrasts with the Christian concept of God's unconditional love. Exploring these varied interpretations reveals a fascinating tapestry of beliefs. From fearsome gods to compassionate figures, the concept of divine love has evolved. We will journey through time, examining how different cultures have grappled with divine love. Defining divine love is a complex undertaking, as its meaning has evolved significantly throughout history. In ancient times, the concept of divine love was often intertwined with fear and reverence, with deities seen as powerful forces to be appeased rather than benevolent caregivers. The relationship between humans and the divine was often transactional, with offerings and sacrifices made in exchange for divine favor. As monotheistic religions emerged, the concept of God's love began to shift towards a more personal and compassionate understanding. The idea of a single, all-powerful God who cared for humanity emerged, offering a sense of comfort and guidance. This shift marked a significant turning point in the history of divine love, paving the way for new forms of religious expression and spiritual practice. The development of philosophical and theological thought further refined the concept of divine love. Thinkers and theologians grappled with questions of God's nature, his relationship with humanity, and the meaning of love in a divine context. Concepts like agape or unconditional love emerged as central themes in religious discourse. These evolving perspectives continue to shape our understanding of God's love today. The journey to understanding God's love has been fraught with challenges and misconceptions. Throughout history, various interpretations of divine love have led to conflicting beliefs and practices, often resulting in division and conflict. The concept of divine judgment and punishment, for example, has sometimes been used to justify acts of violence and intolerance. Another challenge has been the tendency to anthropomorphize God, projecting human emotions and motivations onto the divine. This can lead to a limited and often inaccurate understanding of God's love, hindering our ability to fully grasp its transcendent nature. By imposing human limitations on the divine, we risk misinterpreting the true nature of God's love and its implications for our lives. Furthermore, the exclusivity often associated with certain religious traditions has presented a significant challenge to understanding God's love. The belief that only certain individuals or groups are worthy of divine love has led to discrimination and exclusion, undermining the universality of God's compassion. Understanding these challenges is crucial for fostering tolerance, respect, and a more inclusive understanding of divine love. This will promote peace and understanding among different faith traditions. Ancient cultures offered diverse perspectives on divine love. In Egypt, Isis embodied nurturing aspects of the divine. Her devotion to Osiris symbolized love and loyalty. In Greece, divine love was explored through philosophy and mythology. Greek gods had human-like emotions, including love and jealousy. The Hebrew Bible presents a nuanced portrayal of God's love. The covenant with Abraham marked love and obligation. The radiance of the Gospels, a transforming love. The arrival of Christianity marked a profound shift in the understanding of God's love. Central to this transformation was Jesus Christ, whose teachings exemplified a radical new form of divine love. Jesus emphasized love for one's neighbor, even one's enemies. The Gospels portray Jesus as embodying God's unconditional love for all humanity. His compassion and forgiveness demonstrated the transformative power of divine love. Reformation and Revolution, Reframing the Divine. The Reformation, a period of significant religious upheaval in Europe, brought about new interpretations of God's love. Martin Luther, a key figure in the Reformation, emphasized the importance of faith and grace as the primary means of receiving God's love. He challenged the prevailing notion that good works were necessary to earn God's favor, asserting that salvation was a gift freely given through faith in Jesus Christ. This emphasis on grace reshaped the understanding of the relationship between humanity and the divine. The Reformation also led to a renewed focus on the Scriptures as the ultimate source of religious authority. This emphasis on biblical interpretation contributed to a greater diversity of theological perspectives on God's love. Different denominations emerged, each with its own unique understanding of divine love and its implications for Christian life. This period of theological ferment shaped the landscape of Christianity in profound ways. It continues to shape religious discourse today. The Enlightenment and beyond, reason and revelation. The Enlightenment, a period of intellectual and cultural ferment, brought about significant shifts in the understanding of God's love. Emphasis on reason and individual autonomy led to new interpretations of religious texts and doctrines. Philosophers and theologians sought to reconcile faith and reason, exploring the compatibility of religious belief with scientific discoveries and rational inquiry. This intellectual exploration broadened the understanding of God's love, emphasizing its universal and inclusive nature. The rise of deism, a philosophical movement that emphasized the existence of a creator God who does not intervene in human affairs, challenged traditional notions of divine providence and intervention. Deists viewed God's love as expressed through the natural order of the universe rather than through miraculous interventions. This perspective shifted the focus from a personal relationship with God to an appreciation of the divine as the architect of the cosmos. This period of intellectual exploration laid the groundwork for modern theological and philosophical thought. The 20th century and modern perspectives, embracing inclusivity. The 20th century witnessed a growing emphasis on inclusivity and social justice within religious communities. The civil rights movement, the feminist movement, and the LGBTQ+ rights movement challenged traditional hierarchies and exclusionary practices within religious institutions. These movements called for a more expansive understanding of God's love, one that embraced all people regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation. The rise of liberation theology, a movement that emerged in Latin America, emphasized the preferential option for the poor and marginalized. Liberation theologians argued that God's love is particularly directed towards those who suffer from injustice and oppression. This perspective challenged traditional interpretations of God's love, emphasizing its social and political dimensions. Interfaith dialogue and cooperation became increasingly prominent in the latter half of the 20th century. This interfaith movement emphasized the common ground shared by different religious traditions, including the belief in a loving God who desires peace and harmony among all people. A pivotal moment, the Agape Revolution. One pivotal moment that significantly shifted the understanding of God's love was the early Christian emphasis on agape or unconditional love. This concept, central to Jesus' teachings, revolutionized the way people perceived divine love. Unlike the conditional love often associated with ancient deities, agape represented a radical departure, emphasizing God's boundless and unwavering love for all of humanity, regardless of merit or worthiness. This emphasis on agape had profound societal implications. It inspired acts of charity, compassion, and service towards others, particularly the marginalized and oppressed. The early Christian communities were known for their care for the poor, the sick, and the outcast, demonstrating the transformative power of agape in action. This egalitarian ethos contributed to the gradual dismantling of slavery and other forms of social injustice, promoting a more just and equitable society. The enduring legacy, understanding God's love in the modern world. Understanding the historical evolution of God's love is essential for navigating the complexities of faith in the modern world. By recognizing the diverse interpretations and challenges that have arisen throughout history, we can develop a more nuanced and informed understanding of this profound concept. In a world often marked by division and conflict, a deeper understanding of God's love can serve as a bridge between different cultures and faiths. By recognizing the shared human longing for connection with the divine, we can foster greater empathy and understanding across religious boundaries. The concept of God's love continues to inspire acts of compassion, service, and social justice around the world. This enduring legacy of God's love demonstrates its transformative power to inspire positive change in the world. This interfaith engagement can contribute to building a more peaceful and harmonious world. A shared journey, continuing the conversation. The exploration of God's love is an ongoing journey, a conversation that spans centuries and continues to unfold in our own time. Each generation grapples with the meaning of divine love in light of its own unique historical context and cultural experiences. By engaging in thoughtful reflection and open dialogue, we can deepen our understanding of this profound concept and its implications for our lives. I invite you to share your own thoughts and perspectives on God's love. What does God's love mean to you? How has your understanding of divine love evolved over time? What challenges or misconceptions have you encountered in your own journey of faith? By sharing our stories and engaging in respectful dialogue, We can learn from one another and enrich our collective understanding of this complex and multifaceted concept. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to watch more from Tech and Trek. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content.